Well, this is an excerpt from a larger work of Cat Shepperton. Benjamin Bartholomew is a shoe shine in late 19th century New York. He's minding his own business when somebody knocks into him and finds himself tumbling up into the air. When he lands, he has a strange encounter with a creature in the bog, and he begins to suspect he might be farther from home than he thought. Well, I could somewhat make out a road running past the bog and into some trees in the distance. Any road meant folk somewhere, so I got moving and headed for the trees. If nothing else, I could make a fire and get my bearings come morning. Now, sleeping under a tree in a New York October is lousier accommodations than my usual tenement. That's the kind of day it been, don't know what else I expected. I decided when I finally made it back to Brooklyn, I'd sleep my fill and the devil take the shoe fairs. And that cheered me some. It was a short walk to the trees. Now, I'd been in woods before. I was born in the city, but I'd been outside of it, in Pennsylvania, with my father, before he took sick with tuberculosis. I've been in the woods around the Appalachians and the Shenandoah, young trees with yellow leaves. I've never seen a forest like this. You hear folk talk about old things, especially out in the old colonies, but by and large, we're fairly spry as places go. Not a lot you can find past a couple hundred years back. This forest was old. The trees were thicker than a wine vat. They curled up and round like they got so tall and so old they couldn't stand up no more and had to lean down for a rest. Vines and limbs reached over and got mixed up with each other, so you couldn't tell just how big any one tree was. It wouldn't have been a wonder if they were all just one tree that needed a forest to lay stand on. Well, I was fair spooked. I walked as quick as I could manage, which wasn't much to remark on. The road was in a bad state, or the forest in a better one, so you had to practically drag your nose along the ground like a hound to stay on it. Nose to flags, I ran straight into something harder than my head. I'm a sober man. I keep my tongue unless pushed to it. Well, that night I was pushed to it, and then some. I'd been tumbled, dropped, bumped, grabbed, and variously provoked, and when I walked my head directly into a stone pedestal, it pulled on the last thread of my temper, and I fell to the relief of swearing. Now, being a bootblack and resident of the looser districts of Brooklyn, I was intimate with a wide variety of expression. I made full use of it. I was like to give grammar lessons to the Navy. When I had blasphemed and cursed vividly and loudly enough to feel conveyed, the thudding in the crown of my head beat lower and less urgent, and I took a look at what I banged against. It was a stone stump, short and fat, with a wide bowl capping it. Now, why any decent, God-fearing person would put a bird bath in the middle of a road in the middle of the forest, I couldn't say. It was enough to provoke me again. I added a few particular descriptions of the architect of the basin to my earlier remarks. I got a hold of myself and saw the basin was filled with water. I hadn't noticed on account of my temper and the unnatural stillness of the water. It filled the bowl rim to rim. The leaf fell on it, it was spilled over. It was so still and clear that I was only in catching the scant moonlight at certain angles through the thick weave of branches that a body could see it at all. It was all of a sudden brought to my urgent attention that I was thirsty, and had been for a while. Now, growing up in a place like New York teaches a boy not to drink from strange puddles, but there is a kind of thirst that don't care for consequence or dysentery. Besides, with the corner sense of my thirst allowed, I had never seen clear water. If it was poisoned, I was a frog. I scooped up a handful of water, cold as the Hudson in January. It didn't spill over, which didn't seem right to me, but didn't much consider it between slurping up as many handfuls as my belly would hold. Then I remembered how muddy I was from my roll in the bog. The water was just as clear and pure pouring into my mouth from my mud-caked hands as it had been in its basin. Again, didn't sit right, but only a bit. Can't say much about the water that'll make much sense to you. Say you hadn't had a drink in 3 days in a boiling summer while digging ditches in the dust, and some God-blessed saint handed you a glass of chilly mountain stream water. I can't say it would have been much like this, but it's the best I can think of. I drank till I thought my belly would open at the seams. I sat against a large root growing out of the road and thought I'd just sleep right there. Then I noticed the tree opposite was looking at me. Well, I was mighty concerned about how much water I just drunk. I slapped myself. I'm a sober man, as I said, but I've also imbibed to excess on more than one occasion. I knew drunk, and this didn't have the feeling. I wasn't asleep, or no more asleep than I'd been. I looked back at the tree. It also looked back at me. It was about this time the suspicion I'd been harboring got some credence. I wasn't going to make it back to Brooklyn tonight, or maybe even tomorrow. Anywhere that trees could look at you had to be a fair step from home or I'd heard something of it. Well, at first it looked like a face in the trunk. Hooded eyes, hatchet nose, wide lips. It might have been carved except for the blinking. The longer I looked, though, the more I thought it was a head, skinned in the same bark as the tree, attached to a tall, slim man with long limbs leaned up against the trunk. It kept shifting between the two when I blinked, hoping maybe I was drunk off that water after all. You shouldn't have drunk from that, said the tree. That's what I was just thinking, I replied. Do you have any magic in you? I'm not sure what you're referring to. I mean, are you a fae? No, I'm Irish. Do you handle magic then? Are you a magus or a warlock? Nah, they haven't held a draft since I was little. The tree smiled at me. Well then, you probably won't melt. Can't say I expected to. It's been known to do that to some. Can I ask you something? The tree nodded. Are you a tree? I am. I thought so. I've never talked to one before. No, that's not true. I've never had one talk back to me. I don't always talk to travelers. They usually don't have time before melting. You knew I might melt if I drank water? Well, some have. Others have just turned into eels. They dry out quickly, though, so it isn't much better. Seeing as we've just got acquainted, I don't want to sound ungrateful, but couldn't you have said something before I drank it? Oh, I don't usually. Oh, tradition is very important to trees. We stay in the same place all our lives, so unusual things bother us terribly. I see. You're unusual. I know, I'm Irish. But there's a lot of us in the city now, and there's a famine back in Ireland, so we can't stay there. Besides, I was born here. In Ellesmere, in America. Oh, that isn't here. I wondered. Do you know where it is? Somewhere else. People seem to have an idea that trees, on account of their living so long, are particularly wise. In conversation, I do not find this to be the case. Why am I unusual? You drank the water, and you didn't turn into an eel, or a peregrine, or a centipede. That is unusual. The tree paused, considering. Or is that just the one who described with so many arms that he looked like a centipede? I thought they looked nice, very tree-like. But he just screamed for a while and then strangled himself. I was starting to feel poorly. How long does it usually take for those things to happen? The tree shook its head. Oh, I couldn't say. Sometimes immediately, other times it takes longer. But I'm unusual. That counts for something, don't it? If it happened after this, I wouldn't be unusual. I kept checking my feet to make sure I still only had 2. Oh, yes, normally it happens quite fast, but you never know. After all, if they leave quickly, I can't see if they pop like a rotten tomato or not. That happens sometimes too. Popping, I mean. What kind of tree are you? My blood was starting to rise. I'm a you. What do you mean you're me? The tree thought for a moment. I'm not you. You're Eloish, I think. Or possibly, depending on the outcome, a vole or a trout. I'm a you tree. How come you can talk like people? Well, I never thought about it. It's just something trees do. Not where I'm from. It sounds like a dull place. Seems dull suits me better. Your hand is on fire. I looked down. Blue and green fire curled up my arm like a snake. I dropped to the ground and rolled like a log on a hill, slapping up my arm and unleashed a fresh barrage of swearing. You looked nodded at me. I thought so. This usually happens. Thank you.